Good morning, my lovely friends. Today, pretty excited. We're going to be doing a little content session. We got 25 minutes here. I'm going to time it out. 25 minutes to just create a lot of good content. It's going to be purely off the cusp. Trying to just brainstorm as many ideas as we can. The concept of this is it's going to be 25 minutes. I'm shooting to have around 15 different tweets. So I have and then of those, maybe 7 of them are good. They're all going to be about 80% finished. Maybe some of them more half done. But this is just like the process that I go through for content creation, where I just get to kind of do a brain dump, and then I'll go in later, refine, and post stuff. So it's a pretty raw experience getting to see this. You can do this along with me too, if you want to, but I'll just kind of be talking through my thought process, and you kind of just get to see how the sausage is made, right? All right, enough talk. Let's get into this. We do this very officially. All right, I'm setting a 25-minute timer. Let's go. Here's how you know. Set a timer for 25 minutes. All right, the game is afoot. 25 minutes. All right. So, memes have been doing well. We've been doing a lot of posts that are a bit more serious, and philosophical or values driven that have been doing well. I do want to get more into product type of content also. So, one thing, let's do a hotkeys. We need to revisit that. I'm just going to put a note on that here and revisit hotkeys video, hot hands, Henry. It's like pew, pew. Do you know all the hotkeys of Wonder? Pew, pew. L pods. It'll be fun. I think we could do something like that. That'll be like a bigger video. I'll do a little bit more of a script. What else? We're about to launch new project onboarding. I think literally just doing video walkthrough would be nice. So just doing a 5-minute video like this. There's a new project onboarding. It's pretty exciting. It's doing something pretty casual. Can literally just be Loom style, like what I'm doing here. I want to talk a bit about community engagement. So, okay, so this is more of a philosophical type of one that typically does well. I need to refine this a bit, but I feel like this is an important message too, and why I think a post like this could do well is, you don't need 10,000 people in your Discord to have a good community. While big numbers are fun, the strength between the connections are more important than the number. that validates people, so people with smaller communities feel like, I'm it's okay not to have, 100,000 people in my project. So that's for people that are building and they feel the difficulty with their community. So it's maybe like 80% there. It can get sharper, but I feel like the idea that I want to underline is there, so that's important. Okay, keep it moving. Let's see if I can. Let's do one more thing around community, and community development. So this is just like, I guess, from personal experience. Yeah. This is a nice format. I think the anatomy of a good tweet is obviously the hook, the attention grabber. In copywriting, I don't talk about this a lot, but there's the AIDA formula, which is attention, interest, desire, and action. So grab their attention, say something that gets their interest, build desire, give them a piece of action, like a way to take action. So attention in 2021, Discord communities were hot. That could be a bit more attention grabbing. Interest, now people are fighting to keep them engaged. That's giving interest. Desire, when prices are down, the key, is to keep interest up. And then an action would be, it depends what you want. So do you want them to read the next sentence? Is it a thread? Are you trying to make them go to a website? That's where you do the call to action. Or is it just a call to, engage with this tweet? Be like, this could be a nice one to get people to comment. Let's see how it just follows that basic format, which is pretty good. Okay. Now, your boy, we're gonna have to be doing some memes at some point. We're doing good so far on timing. Okay. This is the point where we're pulling out of the ether for new ideas. Hold on, let me get this light fixed. There we go. Less golden hour vibes, but it is what it is. Okay. Now let's talk a bit more about building. I think that's also a strong angle for us, is talking about building and building product. So this is something, what I'm trying to articulate here is, oftentimes people set out a roadmap and it's like it was done maybe months ago, a year, it could even be a year ago, and the world changes. There's different priorities, it's like, doesn't look the same. So I feel like kind of giving people permission and having them prioritize their roadmaps better is very important. So like, be relentless with your roadmap. You know, be relentless with your roadmap. Landscapes change, parties change, people. I even think people change. You know so much more than you did a year ago. Okay. I think that has a nice idea in here. Be relentless with updating your roadmap. That could be a bit more potent, but it has the energy. This part's good. And even the text goes down a little bit. I'm a huge fan of like the appearance of text actually is big with the importance. For example, like I recently did I don't think this one did super well necessarily, but I love this sort of style. Like, it's super important to have, like, if you're gonna do this list, don't just have it be random. It's like, look at that beauty. 2.4 isn't bad. That's pretty good. Okay, but sorry, let's get back into the juice here. So appearance is super important. So that's nice. And it's giving people permission again to update, to change, to adapt. Which, if you're an operator of a project or you're building something, it's super challenging. So I think giving people that space and having a message for them is important. Okay. These are nice. Do one more, maybe about building. We're doing okay on time. I think we're pacing fine. This one just kind of came into my mind. It's related to community. Community market fit. That's when you're building a community that resonates with the values, goals, and the culture. Most people try to. I think that's an important distinction too. Community market fit. That's when you're building a community that resonates with the values, goals, and culture of your market. Most people try to build a community around them instead of around their people. I think that's important, and that is a mindset shift for a lot of people. Not building something, from the perspective of how can it serve me, but how can I serve them is, I think, very important. Okay, let's go. Do we have any meme ideas? So, I know we like to have a little bit of fun. I had some fun ideas. I mean, I think if I open up Premiere Pro, my computer will crash. So we'll skip on the video memes. But I'm going to start indexing in them more. I think they're fun. And it's an interesting format. But typically with memes, you kind of need a little bit of... You need a little bit of inspiration. Like you can't just really like sit here and come up with memes in the same way. Like you have to find formats that work for you. So what I typically do is I have like, if I'm on Instagram, I'll find posts that I like. And then I'll save them and then I'll use them as a reference later. I guess I haven't. I'm looking through my Instagram right now, which, yes, I'm not sharing my my saved videos, but I'm not seeing any good ones. So maybe it's something I'll just come back around to. I think the some that I kind of just want to check up on and see if they did well, because I typically only look at performance of tweets once a week, and like actually analyze it. I think doing it day to day is a bit too much, and you don't have enough of a learning time curve to actually like get some good data. So I was like, look at the last week. You need to be removed from the process a little bit. Like if you post something and you're like checking immediately, it's not good for your mental health and not good for like a long-term process. But also like, I don't think it's the best learning process either. I like to be removed a bit from it. So it's like, okay, here's what I did last week. It's like, like Web 2.5. It's funny. It's interesting. Engaging picture. It's a bit ridiculous. Good engagement rate. Decent like number, right? No replies, no retweets. That's okay. Decent engagements. So yeah, like I thought that was funny, and I was holding on to this one for a long time, but you know, I didn't do anything with it. I'm happy I did finally post it. I mean, for us, like getting, you know, 10 plus, I mean, it's like, it's nice. 20, it's like, it was good. Let's see another meme. So like, this is an example of one that did not do well. What's wrong? You barely touched your Q and goals. That's a good format, but the thing is, the things I was talking about earlier, it was more in line with our customer base, right? Like it was about like giving people permission not to have huge, you know, like numbers in their Discord and to still feel good about what they're doing, because you have to empathize. You know, like this I think was not an empathetic tweet. And I don't necessarily regret it, but I wouldn't do this again, because it's okay to play and make fun of your industry and the industry that you're in. I think people actually really do appreciate that, because that's a very genuine thing. But this one in particular, it's like kind of like roasting people for not getting stuff done, which like that's not fun. Like people don't care about that. I think another one that maybe, what features do you wish we had? Like this one didn't do very well either. I think that it was posted on the weekend and it just is like, it was lazy. I wasn't like, oh, like this year we did 100 features thanks to y'all's feedback. Like we have 100 more coming, blah, blah, blah. So it's an idea of just like a lazy one. So we could take those learnings here and take them into, by the way, I'm using Typefully. If you've never used Typefully, this is definitely my favorite thing for Twitter management at this point. I wish it was a bit more collaborative, but it's okay. So taking those two learnings, so like with the Q1 goals, the Web 2.5, and the what features do you wish we had? The way I would improve the what features do you wish we had tweet would be, you know, this year we launched dozens of features, most thanks to our community's feedback, from grants to proposals, bounties, project pages, etc. I'll add in here. Every is gold to us. What features you wish we had? So this is an example of something that would do better than another one, because I literally, in that format that we had, AIDA, the attention, interest, desire, action, in the last one I literally only had the action. Now we have, this year we lost dozens of features against my intention. Most thanks to our community's feedback. most, thanks to. So something I really want to get more into, and it was super important. Um, One of my favorite podcasts right now is called Founders. It's by David Seneca or something, and in every single episode, it sounds like it's like a one-on-one conversation. Like he's like literally just talking to you, right? It's like it's us. Like we're in this together. And with marketing, people always think of themselves as like on a soapbox, like addressing a crowd, but that's not how information is ever interpreted. It's always a one-on-one experience. So I feel like this next generation of how I want to get better as a content creator, as a writer, as a designer is really hone in on that one-on-one sort of connection and conversation with people. So this right now, what I'm going to do is an example of how to do that. So this year we launched dozens of features, most thanks to feedback from you, from grant disposals, blah blah blah. Every piece of feedback you've given is gold to us. That's just an example. It's about them. It's about a one-on-one thing. I'm talking to one person. And it's always good also to have a person specifically in mind. Like, is this what I'm writing for, like a DAO operator? But even more specific, it's like, okay, it's like a DAO operator who has, let's say 100 people in their community and like 10 engaged contributors, and they're trying to build something, and maybe they have $1 million in their treasury. It's like that sort of level of like thinking and thinking about writing for just one specific person. What's difficult is when you have multiple archetypes, and we have multiple archetypes of users, because then I can't just talk to that one specific DAO operator. But it is, it is a helpful tool and does help you refine your feedback in how you write. So, little alpha that I've been thinking about. Okay, let's keep going. Sure, we want some features, most thanks feedback from you. Okay. Something also, I do want to get into meme stuff, and sadly I can't do it in this video like how I want to. I could do a video in the future where I literally just like make 100 memes or something, do some sort of challenge, like how long, or make a meme for 30 minutes, whatever it might be. So you can kind of see like that process, the people I look at who are inspirations, etc. Okay, let's keep going. Let's get more into like product philosophy. So like, this one I want to get into like building is hard. So I'm getting to distributed teams advantage. So it's kind of like building is hard. Doing a distributed team is even harder. CS4 line format. Building is hard. Probably gonna do a better hook. Doing it as a distributed team is even harder. However, the advantages of being distributed outweigh this burden. You can build a team of the best people in the world instead of the best, just the best in your area. Best people in the world, that'll probably have to be toned down just a little bit. It's a bit too much of hyperbole. Subpancho. He's just gonna use me as a stepping stool. Yeah. Anyway. Also, the best part about being distributed, I get to work from home. And I got my coworker right there, so it's nice. Okay, so that's a nice idea there. Probably like 80%. We need to fine tune that a little bit. And let's see how we're doing on time. I think I have. How much time left on my timer? Oh my god, 25 seconds. Okay. You know, it was a good session. Let's see if we can get one more. Jam. Those always do well. Alright, there we go. Got one on the buzzer. 3 seconds to go. So, yeah, that was a fun process. This is what I do. I think this time, since I was doing it as a video, I wasn't able to get as many as I wanted. Let's count our work. 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. I was shooting for 15. 6 short. 2 of them are video ideas, things that'll probably take 10 to 20 minutes of my time in the future. But most of these are like 80% done. I typically do this in spurts. So if you're running your company's projects, social media, it's nice to batch the work and then just queue up as much as possible. I don't do it day to day. Some people do that. When I was working full-time as a social media person, I would typically batch a lot of the content, but I would leave room and capacity to do more spontaneous ideas, things that were more relevant in the moment, because it was for a news company. So I'd be open. But yeah, this is the basic process. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you had some good ideas too. It's fun to do. It's fun to make content. So if this is something that you have to do as a side job or as a full-time job, it's always good. But thank you so much for watching, and don't stop building.